Welcome back to Module 4 of our Small Business Certified AI Strategist program. Now, we are going to be getting into compliance and legal and ethical considerations as it relates to AI. We have 2 more modules to go before we start getting a lot more tactical. So bear with me as we wrap up the overview theoretical end of the beginning modules. In earlier modules, we covered topics ranging from agency foundations to the AI stack fundamentals, all through the lens of serving small businesses. And today, we're going to focus on a crucial element that can truly make or break an AI initiative, even in a small business environment. These are legal, ethical, and compliance considerations. Small businesses may not face the same intensive regulatory requirements as large enterprises, but they're not exempt from data privacy laws or ethical AI pitfalls. By the end of this module, you'll have a high-level understanding of the most important principles for handling data responsibly, mitigating bias, and managing legal risks, even without running full-blown compliance workshops. So let's dive in. In AI, as you know, data is everything, whether you're building predictive tools or automating workflows or personalizing customer experiences. Even for small businesses, that data can include sensitive or proprietary information like customer records, sales data, or healthcare details. So there are several relevant regulations that apply to even small businesses. The first one I want to mention is GDPR. This stands for General Data Protection Regulation. This is primarily for companies that are dealing with European citizens' data. Now, this is important to understand if you are trying to serve the European market or if you have a client that serves the European market. So be sure to research the GDPR regulation so you understand what the regulatory landscape is like in Europe. Second is PA, which is the California Consumer Privacy Act. This applies if your clients do business in California above certain thresholds. So that's something that you need to research as well. And then the other one is HIPAA. HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This governs U.S. healthcare data, which is essential if you're dealing with any medical records. Now, while not every small business falls under these specific laws, local data privacy rules can still apply. So always advise clients to confirm the laws in the region or industry that they operate in. Even if you're not leading in-depth compliance audits, you need to emphasize for your clients the importance of basic data governance. And some basic data governance that would be important for your clients to adhere to would be defining clear data retention policies, like how long is the data stored and why. The second is implementing role-based permissions, so understanding who can access what systems. And the other end of basic data governance that would be important to stress for your clients is having them regularly review their security protocols. This includes encrypting data at rest and in transit and using strong authentication. Encourage your clients to also have a plan if things go wrong, such as a data breach or unauthorized system access. They need to be sure that they can act quickly and isolate any affected systems and have timely notifications and documented mitigation steps that can greatly reduce any damage that is done if there is any type of breach. Now, if you work with a client that is interested in shoring up their data or their cybersecurity governance, and this is something that is incredibly important to them, this is not something that we're going to be getting into in this certification. So what we recommend is please lean on us as a resource. We won't be providing you with any playbooks on this aspect of agency building, but just know that this is our bread and butter, and we can help if this issue arises. So if you have a client and you're getting through the sales process and they start bringing up data governance and how they don't have plans and they don't have cybersecurity and they need to shore up all that first, you will not lose the deal. Fret not. You can save the deal by bringing us in and we can help them shore up those basics. So that way you can move on and move forward with your AI strategy delivery. Now, once you've established secure data practices, the next step is ensuring that your clients' AI systems themselves are ethically sound. In Even small businesses, they can inadvertently deploy bias or opaque AI tools if they're not careful. At Strata 52, we focus on three core principles. The first is fairness, then it's accountability and transparency. So when we evaluate AI systems that we're integrating into a business, we want to avoid perpetuating any bias based on gender, race, or other attributes. We want to test for any disparate impacts across demographic groups and adjust if there's any unfair outcomes that emerge. So that's why we want to make sure that we pay attention to and adjust our systems for fairness. Then, when it comes to accountability, we want to make sure that someone in the organization is responsible for AI driven decisions. This is typically a C-level person or even the owner in a small business setting. So we need to have that point of contact that's accountable for everything AI. If a model makes a mistake, let's say if it mislabels a customer or it denies a legitimate request, we need to make sure that we have a process to review that mistake and correct that model for the future. And then that third transparency piece is we want to clarify to users when they're interacting with an AI system. We want to make sure that we have a transparency plan in place where we're letting users know that they are working with an AI tool. We want to offer a way to opt out or to escalate to a human whenever possible. While small businesses often lack a formal ethics committee, simply having an ethics checklist or a bias review step in your process can help prevent these common pitfalls. And I recommend encouraging open conversations with your client about how AI decisions might affect customers, employees, or the public, especially if a client is using off-the-shelf AI tools that they don't fully control. Now, I know a lot of this is theoretical. A lot of it is not going to be included in the actual roadmap creation, but having knowledge of these areas is important because these can be areas of concern for your client, and having knowledge of these areas and being able to adjust your approach for the sake of your client is something that is incredibly important to growing your business. Finally, let's address the legal side of AI. Even a small business can face lawsuits or fines if AI systems lead to data mismanagement or discriminatory outcomes. As an AI agency, you should know enough to guide clients toward informed decisions and recommend legal counsel when issues get complex. So an example of is in your contracts, which we will provide you with sample contracts that we recommend that you have your legal counsel review. But in your contracts include contract clauses and indemnification. So define the roles and responsibilities of who owns the data, the model, or any resulting IP. You need to also specify any liability. So if there is an AI tool that gets built, whether it's an off-the-shelf AI tool or if it's an automation workflow or an AI workflow or an automation, or if it's a custom AI tool, if the tool causes financial harm or reputational damage, which party bears the risks? So you might want to consider including clauses that protect you or the client in case there's any type of third-party claims. Now, in addition to the contractual language that you can have with your clients, there are other risk mitigation factors that you can take into consideration. One of them is insurance and liability. So you can carry professional liability insurance. This is also known as E&O insurance, that are policies that can cover AI-related errors, although this area is still evolving. Then the other one is the insurance for industry-specific needs. So if a client handles healthcare, finance, or legal data, they might need, or you might need specialized coverage in order to do business with that client. Now, the best way to ensure that you are in compliance and that you are always covering yourself is with proper documentation and oversight. So make sure that you log any key decisions. This logging of key decisions doesn't just protect you from an agency standpoint, but you should also help your clients implement this as well. They need to make sure that they're keeping track of their data sources and their model iterations and who approved the changes. You need to do that for yourself as well. You need to be able to validate and monitor. So you need to ensure that models are regularly tested and that they're updated to avoid any drift or performance issues. By Addressing these basic legal and risk management areas, you'll help your agency avoid avoidable headaches, and you'll also help your clients avoid avoidable headaches and elevate your credibility as a strategic advisor because you are aware of these areas. Now, we do not provide this type of legal counsel or compliance counsel. However, we will provide you with the templates that we use. And what we will recommend is that you take those templates, you adjust them as needed, and then you have one of your own attorneys review this for your use case. Now, that concludes Module 4, the legal, ethical, and compliance considerations. Even though we're focused on small business, data privacy laws, ethical AI principles, and liability concerns still apply. And in the United States specifically, this is a new area that will continue to evolve, especially with a new administration coming in. By paying attention to this landscape and by guiding your clients to adopt these fundamentals rather than running a large scale governance program, you'll help them build trustworthy AI solutions that protect both them and their customers. Now, in our next module, we'll dive deeper into how to measure and how to monitor AI performance so you can ensure the solutions you've designed remain effective, fair, and profitable over the long haul. So, thanks for joining me in this vital discussion, and I look forward to continuing our journey towards responsible and results-driven AI consulting in Module 5.